What's up, Irish Nation? Steve Leslie, Tuesday night at the Golden Dawn, Ursuline Irish football night. Thanks to Johnny Naples and the staff here at the Golden Dawn. Cannot thank them enough. Player profile for the Ursuline Irish with my man Anthony Romo, the voice of the Irish. Proud to be with him. But junior player profile, running back Christian Lynch. Christian, thanks for joining us.
I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. We're happy to have you here. Family. I know your dad for a long time watched him play. I know how important family is to you going to Ursuline. Talk about your family a little bit and how special that is.
It's very special. Well, we're a very competitive family, so I want to be better than him, and I want to be better than my brother.
Okay. And we love hearing that because this is a talented young man, no question.
Yeah, for sure. I think you probably had to take over one of the toughest running back roles in the Valley, DeMarcus McElroy last year. Of course, playing at Marshall now, he was a star last year for Ursuline, and then you step into that role this year, and you're like a walking 200-yard rusher. We've been blessed to have the opportunity to call Ursuline games this year, and I mean you've done a great job this year, and the team's coming off a pretty big victory last week.
Yeah, and it was a great team win. It was
we kind of did everything. A shutout. I thought the defense played really well.
I
think the defense. I want to get your opinion. I think the defense continues to get better every week. And when you look at our schedule, we play a playoff caliber team every week. When you look at St. Joe's, I mean, that's a team that probably will make the playoffs. But from a family standpoint, Dad's a coach. I don't think people understand how fun and cool that is to play and have Dad be a part of that with you. Talk about that a little bit.
It's very special. So every time that I make a mistake, he's the first person that I go to correct my mistakes, and yeah, he sometimes gets
tough
on
love.
me.
Okay, but that's what dads do, Anthony. That's what I love about that. How special is that?
It's very special.
And I know you have a lot of people in the crowd. How exciting is that for all your family in the stands to watch you and Dad play at such a prolific high school?
It's very special to have my family on my back.
Do you know where they're at during a game?
Sometimes not.
No. Okay.
So looking forward to this week's matchup against East. Of course, they haven't had the year that they wanted to have by no means, but it's a Steel Valley Conference matchup. I'm sure a lot of guys on both teams know each other because you guys both go to schools here in the city of Youngstown. Just how much does it mean a matchup to play against another school within the same city? It has to be pretty cool each year.
It's very cool to play against some friends, some family, and looking to
senior night for your seniors. We'll talk about that a little bit. With Christian Lynch, player profile, Ursuline High School, one of the most talented juniors in the area. Christian, I want to ask you about that. I go back to last year. You had some good games. I say this to a lot of people, Anthony. I know you'll agree with me. If you're anywhere else other than behind DeMarcus McElroy, you probably are doing what you do this year. What did you learn from maybe that senior group and DeMarcus that had you ready for what you're doing right now?
Being patient and seeing the holes, being able to explode through the holes when I see them.
How hard was that to be patient when you're a player and you are as talented as you are? Dad was obviously one of the best running backs at Ursuline. You're taking that, and I love that you want to be better than. But sometimes that has to be hard to be patient. Talk about that a little bit.
Very anxious.
Sure.
It's very nerve-wracking and very anxious, but once you settle down, it's all right.
So last year, of course, it was such a tough loss in the state title game to Clinton Massey last year. From that loss in particular, what do you think this team learned moving forward into this season from ending last year on such a tough note?
Finishing games.
For sure, and you guys have done a good job doing that this year. Currently only one loss on the season heading into week 9.
Two losses. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 2 losses. Yeah, correct.
Fitch and St. V's.
A game that I want to go back on is that Cheney game a few weeks ago. You were running up and down the field. I believe you had 4 touchdowns on the night. You scored all 4, correct? Over 200 yards on the ground. Steve talked about the schedule a little bit. just how cool is that going week in, week out? You're basically playing college prospects on the other side. It has to be pretty cool to go up against guys like
It's
that.
pretty cool, and I get to show off my talents.
Of course, and you've done that this year.
Is that
that's
one
for
of the
sure.
things that's exciting? That's one thing that I love that my kids, one graduated, I have a daughter that's a senior. Ursuline will promote you if you do what you're supposed to do. You're good in the classroom. You have a great family. Your values are all right there. How good can this football team? I think this team hasn't hit its peak yet. Is that fair to say?
That's fair. That's very fair.
And why do you think that? I guess from a running back position, I think this offense hasn't hit its peak yet.
Well, we need to get our passing game
Sure.
more involved in the game.
Sure,
Yeah.
because there's some talented. I guess that's what I want to ask you. How fun is it to play offense with this group? And here's what I want to ask you, because when I talk to a lot of these guys, this is a football team that has talent at wide receiver, at quarterback, at running back, and I don't see a selfish football team that wants the ball every time. I see a group of Anthony linemen that 123 to have the football in close situations.
They all
For
like
a junior, that has to make you proud that you're playing with a bunch of seniors and some underclassmen that want you to do what you do.
Yeah.
How good is that offensive line?
Very good. I love them.
Yeah. We talked to them. And you know what? I'm going to say this with Christian Lynch. I bust chops, so I could bust yours now. The Mannings, the Bernies, the Lynches, the Ericksons, the DCs. Those guys don't get any love. Here's their job, and you tell me. We're going to go hurry up, and you're 200 and some pounds, and you better hurry up and get to the line of scrimmage so we can get our skill guys the ball. How fun is this offense to play on?
It's very fun. When I'm having a bad game, DC can have a good game. When I'm having a bad game, Jack can throw for like 330
Sure.
yards, 300 yards. It's fun.
I want to ask you this. I know Jack's a little nicked up, but now we have like a two-headed monster at quarterback, because there's some things that I think Jack can do. There's some things that I think DC can do. That's where I ask you, this offense, as we get into the last 2 weeks in the playoffs, it's going to be a different offense from what people saw the first 8 weeks. Would you agree with me?
I would agree with that.
So something that I want to touch on is we've talked about the athletes on the field on both sides of the ball for you guys. Just how competitive our practice is, because there are so many athletes on both sides of the ball.
Oh, it's very competitive. Very competitive. And Coach Reardon takes pride in that.
I think that's one of the most exciting things for me about this group, that you play as a team. There's no doubt about that. But at practice, I know you guys get after one another and push one another and talk to one another. And I think that's what makes this Ursuline football team special. But for you, there's a lot of talented underclassmen. I mean, it's a great senior group that's going to be graduated and do a lot of things. But you, Tyreek, DC, Jack Erickson, a lot of linemen that are getting some game time experience. I think people don't understand how good this football team is going to be next year when you're a senior. Do you think about that at all right now?
Sometimes. I think about it sometimes.
Yeah, how could you not? I guess you want to finish out years and do what you do, but you also, as a junior leader, know that when this season ends, it's on you. It's on Jack Erickson. It's on Tyreek. I think that's why Ursuline's been successful, Anthony. I really do. The last 4 years since Coach Reardon's been there, senior classes have kind of led, but a lot of talented underclassmen have played for the last 3 years, and you have a chance to win a state championship.
Of course, and I think that we've talked about this with Coach Reardon before. You guys have the opportunity as younger players to get a lot of extra experience that some guys don't, because of you guys advancing so far into the playoffs each year. You get a few extra weeks of practice. When you get later on into the season, practicing on Thanksgiving, that's such a cool tradition anywhere in high school football. Just talk about how cool it feels your younger years. So let's go back to your freshman year. You guys advanced so far and then had an unfortunate situation that, I mean, we've touched on before. We don't have to anymore. How cool is that as a freshman to see some of the upperclassmen do the things they do now at the next level that you saw them do at high school?
It's very cool. Sometimes I watch Pagisa's games. Sometimes I watch Dante's games. I'm glad to see my older classmen do very well
course.
on the next level.
And that's going to be you.
Yeah.
Rather
Yeah.
fast. I mean, he's a junior going into your senior year. Christian Lynch, player profile. I'm going to say the best running back in Northeastern Ohio, in my opinion. I think he does a lot of good things on and off the field. You represent Youngstown Ursuline very well. We're going to play rapid fire. There's no wrong answers. I'm curious to see some of these. Let's go. Take Dad out of the equation.
Okay.
And you know your dad's career and past. From a non-son standpoint, give me one word that you describe Clinton Lynch in his football days at Ursuline College.
Electric.
That's a great answer because that man right there, Anthony, was one of the most electric running backs in the Valley for a long time. Went to Illinois, had a great career. That's a great answer. Off of this one, Anthony, I'm going to go. When Christian Lynch is down and out and you're having a bad day, who's the role model? Who's your go-to?
Dad.
Yeah.
Easy.
That is easy. And what I think I love about Dad, tough love is great love.
Right.
Is that fair to say?
That's
And
very fair.
it's probably hard to understand that as a junior in high school. I think when you graduate and you go to college and have your own career, you'll appreciate the toughness of your family to help you build as a man. But I'm going to tell you right now, Clinton Lynch was one of the best men that have graduated from Ursuline and has come back to coach at Ursuline High School. And that's one of the best traits I could say about the man.
And of course, it's kind of bleeding off on you a little bit. We got to say a little bit electric
Absolutely.
you are yourself on the field. So it doesn't have to be high school. It could be any time in your career. What's your favorite football memory up to this point? Don't mean to put you on the spot.
State championship week. It was.
Okay.
I know a lot of teams don't get
Sure.
to experience that, and for my sophomore year to be able to experience that with my like family, my friends, my teammates, it was very special.
That's
Okay.
a great answer.
Okay.
All right, so let's go. Going to go to it's at Stanbaugh.
at
So
Stanbaugh,
Friday night
home
we'll have
games.
the Youngstown East game against the Irish. Friday night, 7:00 on YSN. What's Christian Lynch listening to get ready for the East game?
Teddy Pendergrass.
Teddy Pendergrass. Quinn, I think that's the first time. Who's these? I got to go with my young guys here. Who's the go-to all the time? Is
NBA young boy.
NBA young boy is usually one of the.
I like staying calm.
Christian, I would never have guessed that. Staying calm. So because again, you have some goofballs on this football team, like Mark Mannings and those guys. I don't know. They're great kids, but sometimes it's a little off kilter with the relaxation is good for you, ready to play big games.
Yes.
I love that answer. I do.
Okay, and we'll bring up the Golden Dawn here. So, of course, the Dawn coming back this year. Did you ever make any trips here before it closed down when you were a younger kid?
One time.
One time? Okay, and you got to think that it's cool when we look at the wall here. It's kind of like a home base for you guys. What does that mean when you look at the wall and you see these jerseys and all these pictures about past state championships?
Well, actually, it was the Pollywell week, and Simon Arias was explaining those names, how he was up there on one of those signings, and I said, and he told me that one day I'll be up there.
They might have to make some space this year.
I think hopefully we do have to make some space. Favorite college football team?
Ohio State.
That's a pretty good football
That's a
team.
pretty
right
good
now.
running
Number
back
one in
room.
the country, I think. What do you think about that running back room?
Oh, it's amazing. And one of my
You're a
friends go
Hubbard
there.
guy. Yeah. Okay. So take that one.
So, yeah, I mean, TC Caffey, a Hubbard guy, another Valley guy that's at Ohio State right now. He had a pretty good run against Toledo a few weeks ago.
That's one of your friends?
Yeah, that's one of my friends, closest friends, actually.
Well, there you go. Well, TC, his dad went to Ursuline. He was pretty good.
He was pretty good. Not as good as Clinton Lynch, but Clinton, he played with you, right? Okay. That was we're going to talk to Coach Lynch. All right, so I'm going to ask you. Maybe you watch film on the past Irish when Dad played, and now you're one of the go-tos. Who wins, your dad's squad or this squad? And there's no wrong answers. I told you this is rapid fire, so he cannot get on your case after this.
I mean, they were fast, but we have the power.
Wow. We're going to have to talk to Coach Lynch on that power thing. But do you have a favorite pro team?
Favorite pro?
Not a
really.
big pro guy?
No.
Okay. Yeah, well, we root for the Browns, so
So
we are used to losing week in and week out and finding ways to lose. Anthony, it's on you.
okay. Do you have any? Are you what's the word I'm looking for? Is there anything that you do like every game day that's the same every week to get yourself prepared, or you kind of just lay back?
On the field, I stretch out before heading into the game. Sometimes I talk to my dad on pregame meal.
Okay. Pre-game meal, is it something that stays kind of consistent?
Yes,
What do you always eat before a
we
game?
always eat
Pasta, isn't it?
chicken strips and pasta. Yeah.
Chicken strips and pasta. The U does a good job to feed their folks. Christian Lynch, running back for the U. Week 9, I cannot believe I'm saying week 9 here at the Golden Dawn. Thanks to Johnny Naples, another good crowd tonight. We'll have the assistant coach, Clinton Lynch, coming on. Coach Reardon, obviously, Tyreek Dunlow with Christian Lynch. Education's important. Your dad is your role model for that, what he did with his career in college and at Ursuline. So, favorite high school class and a shout out a teacher you want to say thanks to.
I wanted to say thank you to Mr. Palermo.
Okay.
That was one of my favorite teachers
That's
Ever.
history.
ever,
Ever?
all
Okay.
time.
Mr. Palermo, shout out to you for all you do for the Ursuline student athletes. No doubt. He does a great job and he's great with kids. And he's had a pretty nice career at Cardinal Mooney coaching basketball, Anthony. So hats off to Coach Palermo.
That's off to him. He's I got to call one of his games actually.
A little
It's district
energetic,
final.
a little energy in school from him, I'm sure.
Of course.
How do you want this season to end?
With the state championship ring.
And we say all the time, there's teams that
Want that, and there's teams that can actually
do it, and teams that say they want to win a state championships, and teams that believe that. I think this is a team that says it, believes it, and can do it.
Yes, I believe that 100%.
And so to piggyback off of that, what does this team have to improve on to possibly win a state championship?
Staying focused all 4 quarters.
Is that a key tomorrow night? I want to ask you this and see how you answer. East is struggling, but they will come ready to play Friday night. There's no doubt. And there's a team on the south side that is the following week. I know this coaching staff. I know there's no looking ahead, but I also know young kids, Cardinal Mooney's in the back of your mind. And what's your thoughts when I say that? One game at a time?
One game at a time.
All right. Let's keep it one game at a time and take care of business, Anthony, of what we do. Anthony Romo, the voice of the Irish, will have the call. I'll be on the call with him. Christian Lynch, the best running back in the area, talented junior with a great career ahead of him. But Ursuline High School, this young man represents you on the field, off the field, great family, Ursuline pride all over you and what you do. Anthony and I wish you nothing but the best. We appreciate having you on, and good luck Friday night.
Thank you for having me.
All righty.
All right.